Hello, Riz in Edmond, Oklahoma. See more better with free prescription lenses, and today I'm going to cut 167 lenses with high index for your tag Heuer. This is the model number 0512, color 001, which is the matte black with red temple tips. Nice frame, very nice frame. Of course, this one, it says made in France, well constructed, put together well. My first time working on one of these frames, and I really like it. I might need to look into seeing about picking up this collection. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and get to work. I'm going to pop out your original lenses. And anytime I use, now you have sent me your frame, so anytime I use someone else's frame, I always like to clean the inside of the frame, even though this one is very clean, but still force of habit. If there's any dirt, sweat, debris, body oils, anything like that, it can get caught up in the equipment, so I always clean that out. I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit start. A little stylus. That's the reason I'm cleaning. That stylus that's going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the frame. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic frame from me and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Now, since I'm not a tag Heuer authorized dealer, Riz is paying for the high index. Well, it's paying for prescription lenses and then the upgrade to high index 167 lenses and with the anti-glare. So let's go ahead and put in your pupillary distance, which is, hang on, I got it over here, sorry, 32.5, 32.5. I actually have the real paperwork elsewhere that has address, email, all that, so I'll make sure not to put that on film so Riz doesn't get harassed by all the people who watch this video. So let's go ahead and add the pupillary distance, which ironically the computer starts at 32.5. I do want to raise the optical center up just a little bit because most of this frame is going to sit a little bit lower, so I'm going to raise up the optical center, decentering the lens vertically. And let's come down here to my Marco 101 lensometer. We're going to turn the axis wheel to 96. Make sure everything's on 0. That's good. In fact, your prescription is plano, which is also 0, minus 1 1/4, which is this lens. I'm going to take it out of the protective packet. It comes with a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens during shipping so that nothing rubs against the front of that. Even though the paper is good protection, it comes with an extra one. I'm going to take that off. Put your lens in. Rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of the lens. Check your astigmatism correction. I'll explain all that a little bit later. Now I'm going to put 3 dots on the lens. I'm going to come back and put an R on that one. We're going to do the same thing for the left. We're going to turn the axis wheel to 77. And take the lens out of that protective sleeve. Pull the laminate off. Put that in there. And actually, let me go ahead and mark these. Your prescription is plano minus 1 1/4 at 96. Plano minus 1 1/4 at 96. These are the 167 lenses with anti-glare. Let me go ahead and mark this one as right. While I'm here, I can do the same thing for the left. So you will be getting the original packaging, knowing that what you are buying is what you are receiving. Plano minus 1, 167 lenses with an AR, stands for anti-reflective coating. So let's see where we're at. Plano minus 1 at 77. We're at 77, still on plano. Let's go ahead and rotate the lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of the lens. We're going to put 3 dots on these lenses. And we're going to mark this one L, which is Latin for not right. Just like me. I ain't right either. So, and again, so if you missed any of that, let me recap. I almost got away with my own bad joke where I didn't get a chance to tell it. So, okay, 32.5. Now this is a block, or as I like to call him, Jenny from the block. And I have no idea why. My wife watches J-Lo movies, and I've just heard that term, and I don't even know what it means. But, so, I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So, this is what's going to hold it in place in the lathe. So, I need to attach 2 double-sided adhesive stickers. I believe those are the Sooners colors, are they not? You're just north of Oklahoma City. Now the black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this one onto the first block. Do the same thing for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Throw the paper away in the trash. Now the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that it's lined up in there perfectly, and so that's what I'm going to do. The blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally, you'd be dead center. Hence the term center. Your eye is just above that. If you can see that orange grid, your eye is just above that in inset. So that black dot is going to be sitting directly in front of your pupil. I'm going to check to make sure the lens is large enough, and it is. And line everything up, those 3 dots across that line, like the wings of a plane that are level. Hit that button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the right lens. We'll do the same thing now for the unright lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now, I was running my mouth and forgot to tell you that on the back is a silver button that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice today. The first time it's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the arm. That way I know it goes on there perfectly. Line up those 3 dots. And again, your pupillary distance for your left eye is equal to your right, so that the left has mirrored the right. We're at 32.5 again, same optical center height. And I'm going to mark that on here. Now there are people out there who insist on, there's some opticians on Facebook that insist that optical center is not the correct term, so vertical decentration. Make sure the lens is large enough, we're good there. Line everything up, and I'm going to hit that button. Now the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the unright lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you can make up your own bad jokes, and this guy won't have to do it for you anymore. So let's go ahead and wake up the computer. Press that on there. That is the shape that we will be cutting today. These are not polycarbonate, they're not plastic. These are high index plastic lenses. I do not want to polish the edge of the lenses because the lenses will not be seen in this frame anyway. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. Press that on there, place that into the, now the magnet's going to do its job a second time today. It's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the chuck. Or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. So, where are we at? High index, no polish, we're good. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes. The clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens. Here's the old right lens. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel for the least amount of edge thickness to show, which you won't have any in this frame, but I could move the bevel forwards or backwards if need be to make this a better cosmetic look. Now there's something you don't see every day. Water is splashing onto the lens. I normally use polycarbonate lenses, but plastic, high index plastic, and Tribex cut wet. Now, polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. High index is 30% thinner and lighter than polycarbonate. It is a $60 upgrade, well, $59.99. For those who want a slightly thinner lens, the anti-glare is the same price, $44.99. Let me see something here too. The other nice thing about these lenses, they are aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens, spherical, aspherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction, the front surface that is. So your lens is aspheric, just means it has a flatter curvature front to it to give you a better cosmetic look. These give you an ugly fishbowl appearance. Your lenses do not. So that's another reason that I use aspheric lenses. Up, 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 up. You are going to get mailed to Edmond, Oklahoma. Now, the thing that you can't experience is high index lenses have a bit of sulfur in there. And while this is cutting, it smells like rotten eggs or literally sulfur or burnt match. Too bad there's not smell-o-vision, because it does not smell good while this is cutting. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's me, but no, it has a very unique smell. And for some reason, 167 smells worse than 174. Can't tell you why. Google it, then get back to me. So a little lever has come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find on the end of a Dremel tool. That's what's applying the safety bevel to the rear concave surface of the lens. Should any portion of that lens protrude backwards out of the frame and come into contact with the cheek, it would be nice and smooth. I did not bother to put a safety bevel on the front surface of the lens because it will not be protruding out of the frame. In fact, I could choose not to do them at all. This is just a routine procedure. Now, I'm going to open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but I can do it. So, I'm going to dry the lens off, make sure there's no sawdust, optical sawdust on the edge of the lens. I'm going to take your lens, tuck it in at the outside corner, push down at the nose. It does not want to go in, so I'm going to take a little bit off until it easily snaps in. Now I'm taking 1/10 of a millimeter off the circumference so that it goes in easily. I do not want to force the lens into the frame. It could cause it to stretch, give you an ugly cosmetic appearance, and shorten the lifespan of the frame. I do ship every pair of lenses. I do cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide, so I want to make sure that every lens is perfect. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary, is that little bit extra at the beginning. That's what makes it extraordinary. Take a little bit of time. Now, a lot of labs will use heat. This is just a very expensive hair dryer. It softens the plastic, makes it more pliable, and allows you to push the lenses in. But again, at the end of the day, that means that the lens is too large. I commonly do what is known as a cold mount, where I mount the lens into the frame while it is cold, not exerting too much force. After a while, you just kind of do this by feel, and you know when pressing down with your thumbs is too much. All right, open the door with your mind, Riz. Good job, Riz. Good job. I'll give you a chance to do it again on the next lens. Practice up. Okay, let's see. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Using my thumbs, press down. Now it snaps in there easily without being forced. I'm going to flip that over to L. Again, stands for not right. Put your lens in there. Hit the green arrow, which is start. The door closes, the clamp shuts. And again, it's going to be traced by the 2 wide styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. Measuring the thickness to know exactly where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you have none in this frame. How about that? Of course, with the high index, with your prescription, this frame, I wouldn't anticipate it. But yeah, none. That's what makes a good quality lab work. So I'm going to go ahead and take this block off, pull that sticker off, continue adding to my artwork / monster, and put that there. I'm going to dry that off a little bit. I'm going to come down here to the lensometer, spin the axis wheel back to 96, put it in just above that red dot, and read the power, and I am getting 0. I'm getting nothing. 0, which is also known as plano in the optical world, P-L-A-N-O. I just abbreviate it to P-L. So your prescription is completely astigmatic, meaning your only correction is for astigmatism. That's because you squint. But so you actually need no minification or magnification. That is rare. Most people need some form of correction. You only need astigmatic correction. So astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So once this is the correct size, you have a second curvature on your eye. You have one curve that is perfect and clear. The second one is a steeper curve, your astigmatism, and it's how you line up those 2 curves to make everything nice and crisp. We line that astigmatism as the fine-tune knob, and we're just going to fine-tune that knob. If you can imagine a straight line being from 0 to 90 to 180, 270 for those of you keeping score at home. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to just past the 90th meridian to 96. For your left eye, we're only going to turn it to 77. We're going to stop just before the 90th meridian. So, your left eye, again, no correction for nearsighted or farsighted, but you only need 4 steps of correction for astigmatism. So you're on the 5th rung of a ladder for your curvature on your right eye. You're on the 4th rung of a ladder for your left. Guess I better get this. We're going to need that there in a little bit. Did I check your astigmatism? Did I check it? No, I'm still on 0. I am still on 0. Let's go ahead and check it, and we end up with -1 1/4, 1 tick mark away from 1. So now let's come down here. We'll see about putting the left lens in. Dry everything off. Make sure there's no optical sawdust there. Very good. Tuck your lens in at the outside portion of the frame. The reason why I push down at the nose, it is the thickest portion of the frame to apply force to. And actually, this one needs a little bit more taken off. So let's do another 1/10 of a millimeter for whatever reason, other than I can. So again, the clamp shuts, and instead of going down to the cutting wheel, it's going to go straight to the bevel wheel and take 1/10 of a millimeter off, going around the circumference of your left lens. A millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/10 of that distance off, going around the circumference until it easily pops into the frame. Again, safety bevel is going to be applied to the rear concave surface of the lens. The front surface is convex for those of you keeping score at home. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Beep. Please turn the page. Looks like being in a car wash. Is it just me, or was there anyone else as a kid who was just so awesome to go through one of the car washes? Oh, things as a kid were so great. All right, Riz, I want you to open the door with your mind this time. Riz, way to go. Now again, if anyone can think of a funnier joke, please write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I will read it on the air and give you credit for it. You don't even have to include your name. I'll recognize your handwriting. So, again, we're going to tuck this in at the outside corner using my thumbs pressed down at the nose. And it still wants to be stubborn, so let's go old school. Let's go old school. This is something, up. Actually, nope, you belong over here. Take that off, you belong there. These on this side already have the sticker on there. We're going to pull this off, place that on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the handstone, which is just like another version of the cutting wheel that you see in here. This is the mechanical version. This is a manual, so I'm just going to go around ever so slightly and take a little bit off the edge of your lens, around those corners until it pops in easily. Here it is. Oh, you just want to be stubborn, do you? And I wiped off your PD, your pupillary distance, the vertical decentration. If you go back and watch my early videos, I used to have to do this a lot because I did not have the safety bevel built into the edger with the early Santinelli equipment that I was using. Someone sent me a video from India, there we go, where someone took a glass lens, which is very hard to cut, and they took a pair of scissors, actually crimping scissors, and cut out the shape of the lens to where it fit in using scissors. Now, I'm impressed by that. I got some skills, but I don't have that skills. So I'm going to turn the axis wheel back to 77, put it in, find the center of the lens, and I'm getting 0 again, no power, plano. We should end up at -1 if all goes well, the 4 steps of astigmatism correction, -1, so that is perfect. Now, I want to put a dot back on your lens. Let me darken that. so you can see. And again, if you missed any of that, let me recap. I'm going to sneak that in twice. So your pupillary distance is 32.5 in each eye for a total of 65. I'm going to flip this card around, and when I put that in there, I'm going to put the 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and then we hold it up to the left. We're getting 65 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Of course, this is the portion in every video there's a clean your lenses. I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, and of course these are not a new frame, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other, and that's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, hopefully none of that was out of shot, especially the work I did by hand over there, but 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. Although, actually, I say that out of habit. These are your frames, so I do not want to adjust them, because they probably fit you perfectly. I do want to clean them a little better. I field test every cleaning cloth that I provide. Not only do I provide a selfie request, and Riz, I would love to have your picture on the website, but I provide instructions not only on how to care for your frame and lenses so they will last you for years, but also the cleaning cloths that you will get from me. So those two, and your case that I mentioned, will last for years and years. So I will not put them in standard alignment. I will point out though that I am part of that 80% where I have one ear that's higher than the other. So if it does fit like that, just take it to your local shop and ask them to adjust it. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly. Now, if anyone has any questions or comment, you can either email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com if you wish to remain anonymous, or leave your question or comment in the comment section below. Someone else could read that and benefit from your inquisitive nature. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook as freeprescriptionlenses.com, or on as on Twitter as freerxlenses, because my username is too long for Twitter. So that's that. Again, thank you for supporting an independent businessman, Riz. I'm just a one-person guy out there competing with corporate giants, and anyone else out there has their own frame, tag Heuer or any other frame that you need lenses for, just mail it to me like Riz did, and I'll get the lenses mounted in there for you in no time at all. Get them shipped back, and of course free return shipping on your frame with insurance. But that's it. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. If not, hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.